while.
I thought through this video I can compile all the other movies that I caught up on other than the Pongal, Sankranti and Hindi releases. I will be checking out Walter Veria today. There is so much content relating from different states, it's tough to keep up, but especially when your timeline is filled with your subscribers recommending a stellar film, you've got to do the bare minimum and make sure you spread the word about genuinely impressive creative work being done. But before that, I wanted to just vocalize something. Of the discourse around the award mania happening with RRR, we really are our worst enemies, right? A beautiful moment of Keeravani winning a Golden Globe for the best original song Natu Natu. And all that people on social media are doing, especially Indians, is argue about the quality of the song and how the music director has released far more entertaining and compelling songs. Fights ensuing on how A.R. Rahman also won an Oscar for a pretty mediocre song. Debates taking place of whether someone is an Indian and whether it's offensive to define themselves as Telugu first. And finally, Junior NTR being trolled for his accent on the red carpet in several interviews. The accent debate and trolling in my eyes is the most childish. I think more than Junior NTR wanting to assimilate and sound cool as people are presuming, it's literally the way most Indians abroad just want to be comprehended and understood. So you roll your R's, enunciate less than how we usually talk in our own country. And what's funny is that other than us, who pick and dismantle every single detail of our celebrities, everyone else couldn't care less about it. All of this in the midst of a really proud moment for the film and its creators. I am absolutely clear, however, on my perspective. RRR is the pride of Indian cinema. Its success in the West is something heartwarming to see. Foreigners dancing at the Chinese theatre on Natu Natu is about content having no boundaries and something that one should be proud of. I will be rooting for Keeravani to win the Oscar for Natu Natu, will be hopeful for Ram Charan and Junior NTR to dance on the Oscar stage because they wouldn't know what hit them. And finally, will equally root for the success and admiration for any other film in the future. We get so caught up in fighting amongst ourselves that we really never unite to celebrate our victories. Moving on, one of the movies that I terribly regret not having seen in the theatre in 2022 is the Abhinav Sundar Nayak directed film Mukundan Unni Associates, starring an exceptional Vineet Srinivasan in the lead role. A film that had an average run in theatres. I have been reminded though to make clear that the producers and creators all made a profit, but the film wasn't just as celebrated as one would envision. This becomes especially shocking when you see the wickedly dark, impressive, clever and almost flawless film that has recently released on Disney Plus Hotstar. The film focuses on a presumably docile and slightly awkward advocate, Unni Mukundan, who has reached a point of frustration with the mediocrity that surrounds him and that has enveloped his life. 36 on official documents but posing as a 29-year-old, the man constructs a timeline and benchmark for himself to quote-unquote make it and not be a slave to the corporate system forever. His mother gets injured in an accident and he gets introduced to a racket through which accidents can be formulated and designed so that families can receive huge compensation from insurance companies. The scam runs deep, taking the aid of police officers, doctors and ambulance drivers, all satisfied for receiving their share in the matter. Unni sees this as an opportunity and the manic sociopathic journey that he embarks upon as he manipulates and takes advantage of those suffering. The reason why I say that Unni initially comes across as only docile and awkward is because Abhinav categorically peels his personality like an onion. Slowly and steadily you realize the characters, his intentions and the inherent personality is far more dark than meets the eye. The commencement of the film is the statement that humans are often described as grey, but in some cases, people are just dark. Vineet is so sinister and wicked with his calm exterior, the deadpan expression and clear delivery projected as what a sociopath may embody. His inner voice is what guides the screenplay, and the slightest change of expression or body language is narrated by him, as if it being a sign of how it makes him closer to his goal. Everything is described in his head as a competition, a toxic standard that he wants people to achieve, shaming the intellectual capacity of his right-hand man and even his girlfriend. Slowly and steadily, with some momentum and success coming his way, you see the manic state of the character in all his glory and realize this is far darker than you imagined. A character that cannot be celebrated in any way. He lacks empathy, he only thinks about his benefit and is willing to cripple and eliminate those that come in the way. His inner dialogue gets even darker, casually contemplating murder to those who sabotage his goals. This is where the film showcases qualities of the never-ending pursuit of power that characters are willing to go to, almost at the cost of human decency. Films like Nightcrawler especially will come to your mind, a character willing to do anything for the first bite of a tragedy. Wounded individuals and corpses become just monetary goals for Unni, and it's Abhinav's screenplay that beautifully throws a plausible curveball every step of the way. This world of selfish fools created by Abhinav boasts of such distinct personalities you can't help but be drawn to their quirks and sensibilities. Suraj, who inadvertently makes Unni learn the ropes of the scam, Robin, the right-hand man who constantly tries to bring some sense in Unni's head, of course to his annoyance. Nothing beats, however, Meenakshi, who adds to the mad chaos as she seems to be the only one who doesn't judge Unni and his despicable ways. I second that Meenakshi should have her own spin-off because my god, how do you end up with being so cutthroat and vile at the same time? When you think of dark comedies done right, Mukundan Unni Associates goes right up there as one of the most clever, dark and sinister films that I would highly recommend to you check out on Disney Plus Hotstar for not only its performances but a first-time director carving out such a gem that deserves national attention. I can't even imagine what Abhinav is capable of in the future, and I honestly was a fan of Vineet the director, but my god, am I absolutely a fanboy of Vineet the actor after this film. Moving on to the final movies that I saw, Marathi cinema is often regarded as the ignored and underrated industry in its own home turf. Having delivered some compelling storylines, it still doesn't get the media attention that it truly deserves. With something that absolutely shocked trade experts, Wade, the remake of Majli with Ritesh and Janelia, has become a blockbuster, overtaking Pawan Khand to become the second highest grossing Marathi film just behind Sairat. It just tells you that if movies deliver a compelling and moving script, the right push with its marketing and of course beautiful music, the people of Maharashtra will celebrate its own cinema like any other loyal fan base. Reminded of my own lapses in ignoring movies coming out of Marathi cinema, I went to the theatre to watch a movie that all of you recommended to me, the Swapnil Joshi starrer Vaalvi, directed by Paresh Mokshi. A very interesting take on the dark comedy genre where the circumstances of the characters go from bad to worse. The trailer only gave away the fact that a couple is attempting suicide, but the situation at hand is way more murkier than it seems. The one aspect of Marathi cinema, especially those that are recommended by the Marathi subscriber base on this channel, is that even if the screenplay slightly becomes mundane and the cinematography has a stale or dated nature, the performances from this industry will never fault you. Swapnil Joshi, as an anxiety-driven and borderline frustrated factory owner, plays the part perfectly. I've slowly and steadily become a fan of his constant pursuit of interesting cinema, both in movies as well as shows. It's however the women in this unhinged narrative that will really stay with you. Anita Dade as the unpredictable and emotionally volatile wife brings life on the screen. Her antics and expressions leave every character stiff and speechless. A real sight to witness, especially when sharing scenes with Swapnil Joshi. While Subodh Bhave is dependable in his brief appearance, it's Shivani Surve as the firecracker dentist that keeps the ship afloat with a very strong performance. Vaalvi isn't exceptional holistically, but it definitely accounts for an entertaining ride, especially for fans of the genre where characters on the spot have to deal with the most grave circumstances. Another case of Marathi cinema delivering in aspects of storytelling, but it mostly going under everyone's radar. And that was a video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you think about Indians criticizing the RRR award campaign. What do you think of movies like Mukundan Unni Associates and Vaalvi? Please do write it in the comments below. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.